Hi, welcome to Bible Talks with Belinda. I am coming to you today to discuss the Ocean Gate submarine that was unfortunately destroyed during a deep sea dive for to tour the Titanic. The name of the company was Ocean Gate, is Ocean Gate, that sponsored these trips to view the Titanic. It is my understanding that this trip was the fifth um, trip to the Titanic. Titanic. I believe maybe one was canceled. I saw a YouTube video of a guy. He did one where there was a third attempt to do it, but there were so many issues with the weather that they couldn't go under. So he released his video. I can't remember the name. I just happened to come across this 30-minute video. It's very interesting if you look at it. Try to look it up on YouTube. Um, just Google, just type in third Titan Ocean Gate trip or something like that. It may come up. But the guy, he showed real time how they were having issues and um, uh, it's just a tragic situation all around. My condolences to the family, to the friends, to everyone. This incident garnered the attention of the entire world. You had businessmen from all over the world. So as I just kind of meditated on the situation, I started thinking like this when something national, worldwide, and it had the attention worldwide because you had an American, a British man, a French man, a Pakistani man. So you had after it went missing, you had all of these nations, all of these governments working together, having to come together to work together to find um, their missing their missing people. You had the Navy, you had the French, you had the Canadians. The Canadians came out to look for them. You had I don't know if Britain sent anyone. They may have, or they may have offered some kind of help. I know the Canadians, they had airplanes and everything like that. So the whole world was watching as they looked for these people. So, when something like that happens, it's usually very spiritual. It's there to get our attention. It's there for, it's, it's definitely some significance to it. So I meditated, I pulled on the Holy Spirit, and I can't say this is from the most of the time when things are definitely from the Holy Spirit, I know for sure. Um, but there is like some prophetic words that I have just kind of been meditating on. One was from Joshua Giles. If you don't follow him, look him up, Joshua Giles, Giles. He gave a profound prophetic word on Monday, actually. Wow, because they went missing on Sunday and they was discovered deceased on, I believe it was Thursday. But this prophetic word he gave on Monday, and the prophetic word was Babylon is falling. And you really need to watch that. Babylon is falling. And the prophetic word that he gave was that the system in which has been operating, this system that is a mystery Babylon, because Revelations does identify Babylon as mystery Babylon. He talks about how it's actually a spirit, and how the spirit is or this Babylonian system is falling. He said it's already taken place in the spirit, and eventually we will begin to see it in the natural. So uh, I started thinking about that, and then I started thinking about some of the other random prophetic words that have come across. As far as the wealth transfer. So I just started thinking about all of this. And, I just started thinking like, here you have five, you have the CEO, he was from the United States. You have this British billionaire. Um, you have a French explorer, and his network was worth 1.5 billionaire. Then there was a Pakistani businessman and his son, and the Pakistani businessman network was worth $350 million. So you have roughly almost, I want to say, $2 billion in one small submarine. Almost $2 billion. That's a lot of money. That's the GDP of some small nations in one submarine. So I just started thinking about that and some of the prophetic words that was given. And I kind of think it represents where we're headed at financially, where we're headed at with the with our currency, with the wealth of nations. So um, in this submarine, you had five different countries. Well, United States, France, four different countries represented. All four, I believe, are allies. I think Pakistan is an ally of the United States, if I'm not mistaken. All monetary systems, trade, business, all this is going on between these countries, right? Even if Pakistan, I think Pakistan is I'm quite sure. So, two things I got from this. One is $2 billion, right? You have four different countries. Well, one, you have four different countries. Mind you, this was the fifth excursion. Um, the video I saw was just some random YouTuber who just went on there. So I don't know if he paid. I seriously doubt he paid 250,000. I think he was just doing it because he has 13 million subscribers, and probably just to kind of get the get some advertising going out, because the CEO had just started up the excursions to the Titanic. So I just started thinking, I'm like, so some things that I can pull from this is that you have four different countries represented. All were businessmen. These four men represents business economies for all these nations, for these four nations. Then you had the submarine, which experts are saying imploded. So instead of exploding, going, you know, combusting, I guess you would say, and exploding out, this was an implosion. So it collapsed upon itself and it fell. So, given the way that the currency, some things that are happening in our financial system, our banking system, there is some indications of more trouble ahead. Possibly, you have Fed now that is rolling out July 1st. Interesting how everybody forgot about Fed now. Uh, but they're rolling that out now. So I personally think that this is a foreshadowing, a possible foreshadowing of how you would see countries begin to collapse. And it's going to collapse, and you're going to see the wealth of those nations just implode. It's going to be so wealth doesn't usually disappear, right? Because you have these four businessmen. What happens to their wealth? Their wealth is going to transfer. And usually wealthy men like that just don't leave all their money to their families, right? They leave money to um, maybe some extended family, but most of it, or I could say a lot of it, will go to um, their immediate family, grandkids, great grandkids, or whatever. Then you have a lot of them that give money to charities, nonprofits, organizations that they think have meaning. A lot of them are philanthropists, and they give a lot of money away. So you're going to have this great wealth transfer that goes down, and then you have a transfer of intellectual um, business rights, data rights, copyrights. um, all of this stuff is going to transfer to the next generation, or outside of the generation, if there wasn't if they were very generous people. So that's another thing I got from this. So as one system, you have this old world money system begins to implode and collapse on itself. You would have a transfer that happens and comes up to another group of people. So, one, I think it's a foreshadowing of what's to come in the world as far as the money system, as far as the economic systems of the world, what's going to happen to that, uh, possible um, a possible wealth transfer. Um, and I think that it's going to be sudden. I don't think it's going to be something that is going to um, I think the big hit of it is going to be sudden, and it's going to be a sudden transfer. So if the Lord is speaking to you about anything as far as getting a business going, a nonprofit going, a a anything, it may not come from a person, but you may be in a position to get grants, or you may be in a position to, um, have someone who is in that same field just transfer knowledge. It may not even be a transfer of money, but a transfer of knowledge and wisdom is it's just as good, if you ask me. Um, this month alone, June, and when I think about my own life, which is so crazy, like I was thinking about this, how this has happened, and I was having these thoughts of how that, how much financial wealth has been just literally transferred in a moment, like the GDP of nations. You know, uh, I was thinking about how June this month I got two raises. Like I didn't even expect to get I expected to get one because it was time for me to get a raise. And then I got another raise. My boss called me. She said, "Well, instead of your regular bonus," she was like, we really want to keep you, here. We don't want you to go to another, to transfer to another department or anything. So we want to keep you on, and so we want to give you another increase. And I'm like, say what? Say huh? Because it would be, I would have to wait, I think another 3 to 4 years before I got another raise or something, because I had just got one, and I don't think I could get another one to another, it's either 3 or 4 years. So I was thinking about how even in my life, um how money that I didn't even anticipate, how it was moved up. You see what I'm saying? Like within 4 years, I can't remember how long I have to wait to my next raise. But within, like, I get the wealth of 3 years, I get it now. I start getting that now. I don't have to wait 4 years to get it. So within a matter of month, I got like a $8,000 raise. And I'm like, whoa, I didn't expect that. I'll get a cost of living raise and they're just as good. But now that I got that extra raise, my cost of living, if I get a 1 to 2% cost of living raise, well, that's even more. I'm like, so that's wealth that was transferred to me early that I didn't have to wait for. It came to me like, and it came out of nowhere. I'm like, whoa, what? I didn't even expect this. The other option would have been to get I think it's like a two, three. I would have got $3,000, and I would have been taxed very heavily. And probably, I think I probably would have got probably about 2,300. But the raise itself was a $5,000 raise. So if you look at it, it's either $4,000 or $5,000 raise over the span of the next 4 years. So you times that by four. I'm getting $16,000 now that I wouldn't have got otherwise. And it's even more when I add the cost of living raise on top of that. So I'm just trying to give you an example of that. Um, but those are my thoughts on that. Um, be in prayer. One thing I can say, definitely be in prayer. I have another video on my page that is about a dream I had in October. And the dream was so vivid and it was so real. And it is so, I think about that dream a lot. And it was definitely a prophetic dream. I don't claim to be a prophetess or a prophet to hold an office, but I do have prophetic dreams. And it was as if something was coming. Something was coming, and I was told to be prepared for it. So, I don't know if, what is going to happen, but the Lord has been really dealing with me about uh, the end times and the how things are going to ramp up and how things are going to increase, and it's going to be quickly. It's going to be fast. I just kind of feel it in my spirit. And the Lord has, given me directions about, do this, do that, position yourself here. And I want to encourage you to get as close as you can to the Lord, pray to the Lord, about directions for your life, because you're going to very much need it as we get closer and closer to the returning of Christ. All right. So that's all I want to say, and just share my thoughts with you. And have a good night. God bless.